Well, hello everyone and welcome to this video lesson. We are going to be finishing up our topic on nutrition in plants in this video. In the last lesson, you remember we were talking about the structure of the leaf. We looked at the internal structure, the different layers of tissue. Now in this lesson, we're going to be looking a bit deeper into how the leaf obtains carbon dioxide and water from its environment. Now, to begin with, let's just do a very quick recap of this question. Where are the stomata located? Now, before you give a very sure answer of yours, I want you to consider this plant. Now, this is a very special water lily, which, wow, is able to hold the weight of a little boy. And water lilies as well can be found in botanic gardens. You go and see. Okay, they have very beautiful flowers. Now, thinking about the water lily, explore that question again. Where do you think stomata are located? Now, hopefully, you have come to realize this. Yes, in the last lesson, we learned that stomata are located mostly on the lower epidermis, right? At the bottom part of the leaf, right? However, in some plants, such as the water lily, which grow in water, they actually have stomata on their upper epidermis. If you look at this picture here, this is a cross-section of the water lily leaf. On the upper epidermis, you will notice that there are stomata. Now, why don't the water lily have stomata on the lower epidermis? I think it's quite obvious. It wouldn't be able to exchange gases with the environment through the lower epidermis because the lower epidermis is in contact with water. Alright, so again, this simple example helps you see that in science, we don't have always a very fixed answer. Yes, we have general answers. Yes, plants generally have stomata on their lower epidermis, but there will always be exceptions. So in this lesson, like I said, we will be talking about how carbon dioxide and water enter the leaf, providing it with the raw materials to carry out photosynthesis. And we're also going to be exploring a little bit about how stomata open and close and the effects that this has on photosynthesis. Now let's start with the question of how does water enter the leaf? Alright, so this is the leaf. You remember the cross-section of the leaf, and what you're seeing here, this is the vascular bundle, and this is the xylem that is inside the vascular bundle. Hopefully this looks familiar from the last lesson. Now, how does water enter the leaf? Of course, in a plant, right, you will first have water entering the roots. Let me draw my plant first. Okay, so water will enter the roots, right? From the roots, carried up the stem into the leaf. So, from where does water enter the leaf? Well, it enters the leaf through the xylem vessels. Alright, so water enters the leaf via or through the xylem vessels. So here are the xylem vessels. Water enters the leaf from here. Now, by what process does water enter the leaf? What movement process? Come on. What movement process involves water? Right, it enters the leaf by osmosis. Okay, because water always moves by osmosis. Now, what causes water to move into the leaf by osmosis? I'll put it differently. What drives and what causes osmosis to happen? Well, the explanation comes from what you learned previously in the movement of substances. Right, it's because water moves from the region of higher water potential to a region of lower water potential. Okay, the water potential is very high in the xylem, and it is lower in the surrounding cells. So to a region of lower water potential in the surrounding leaf cells. And that is because the leaf cells are using up the water for photosynthesis. So as they use up the water, right, their water potential will decrease, and water is actually pulled out from the xylem into the cells. Okay, so that's how water enters the leaf. Now let's consider how carbon dioxide enters the leaf. Alright, so again, the same three questions. Where does carbon dioxide enter from? By what process? And what drives this process? What causes this process? Why does it occur? Now, if you look at the diagram here, what you see is a cross-section of the leaf, and we're zooming in on the lower epidermis. Alright, so here's my lower epidermis. This should look familiar to you. Alright, here's my guard cell. Alright, guard cell. And this opening here is the stomata. So how does carbon dioxide enter the leaf? From where? You should be able to tell me that carbon dioxide entered the leaf by the stomata. Right? Here's carbon dioxide moving through the stomata into the leaf. Now, what is the process that causes carbon dioxide to move? Is it osmosis? Hopefully you didn't say osmosis. The answer is it moves by diffusion. Okay, so carbon dioxide moves from outside the leaf to inside the leaf by diffusion. Now when it reaches the cells, carbon dioxide actually dissolves into the film of water that surrounds the cells. Okay, so our leaf cells in the plant are surrounded by a very thin film of water. You can see that here, right here, the thin film of water. Carbon dioxide will dissolve into that thin film, and then from there it will move by diffusion into the cells. Now, what causes carbon dioxide to move into the leaf by diffusion? Okay, again, it is due to a difference in concentration. So in the daytime, there is a lower carbon dioxide concentration inside the leaf. Alright, and that is because carbon dioxide is used in photosynthesis. So carbon dioxide, the leaf cells use up carbon dioxide, so the carbon dioxide in this region is low. Okay, so carbon dioxide concentration inside the leaf is low compared to outside the leaf. Alright, so this is higher, and that's what causes carbon dioxide to move in by diffusion into the cells where it is used for photosynthesis. Alright, so I'm actually going to leave you here to think about this question in pairs. Do plants breathe? Alright, so when you come back in the next video in about a minute or two, okay, we're going to be talking a bit more about this question. So do you think plants breathe? You know, we breathe, right? Do plants breathe? Alright, so that's a question I'll leave to you. See you in the next part.